Hello there everyone and welcome back. I feel like maybe I didn't get quite the field experiment or the field testing I would have liked with this Cao Yang fleet, but it performed well enough considering the circumstances. I just did not perform as I would have liked in that mirror match because I had the concave, I had the better positional advantage with my sauces on the flank kind of ignoring the 83 armor on the prow. It's really losing all those frigates and losing a lot of my vision that really hurt me there, and why it made it seem like I was going to lose that bout, especially on the combat end of things, but it worked out nonetheless, and I'm going to try it again, but I did make one little minor tweak. I don't know if this is a better idea or not to swap this out. Was it the Sauce for a Borcon variant of the Emissary? For what I'm trading off in is 200 extra health, or rather, it's the same amount of health there, essentially, hull health anyway I'm referring to, and I miss out on the secret missiles, but I have a little more direct firepower with these railguns and ion cannons, and they benefit from the Cao Yang benefit as well. I don't know how much I like this, for the one thing I hate most about these 200 health frigates is how fragile they are, especially when you rely on them for vision. So this could be my downfall there, where the Castellan has a little more wiggle room, but you would think Emission Dissipator will help a ton in alleviating that. You would think anyway. I just gotta be open-minded and aware of their position at all times, and if I can avoid getting them sniped carelessly without at least getting some damage as a consolation, or at least to make up for it, then maybe then I'll be alright. Either way, this will be the last video I attempt for the time being with this fleet, since I am feeling the itch to play with some more Tyranid's Massive Claw, and I don't know what I want to dive into next, because I would maybe like to play some more Eldari. It feels like it's been a while. We'll hold on to that until we get there. Alright, we're jumping right in with a Space Marine player who apparently has been here for a while. So I want to say we're in for a real challenge. It's just a question of what their fleet compromises of, since I want to believe they're utilizing the fleet that's the most prevalent. So either double battle barge, 6 cruisers, hard to really say, but the main thing I got going for me, at least against the cruisers, is maybe critical hit chance. If I could cripple their engines, that gives me some momentum, since I am going to be playing a game of cat and mouse more often than not. Just a matter of trying to figure out how to get the most out of this fleet. And it almost looks like my textures have been destroyed. It almost looks like it. I'm a little bit terrified right now, if I were to be serious, but the Custodian has easy placement to grab points. I can use the asteroid belts here, but if I have them too close to the Custodian, then that just leaves them to get revealed or just get run down, so I gotta be careful on that front. And then otherwise, oh well, maybe that ends my theory about this being a serious match. It hopefully should be a good match, though. I want to believe, just for the sake that I don't feel like I gave this Cao Yang fleet the best representation, since we were facing off against almost carbon copies of my fleet, as weird as that may sound. And another thing I gotta keep in mind is these cruisers, or was it the frigates, are on broadside arc, so I want to change this to kind of help alleviate that. So, 2 battle barges, and 2... I almost want to go for the weapons. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, since their main strength with 2 battle barges is going to be their boarding potential, let's be serious. And actually I should be boosting with you too, because after all, have combustion gauge, why not use it? And ideally, not steal the point, or at least make sure you actually grab the point with that said. And I'll just leave these guys here for now.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Hopefully have the light cruisers in a position where secret missiles could be useful. But I'll deal with them shortly. Again, the plan is to have this be a bait of sorts, the Custodian. And with its speed being actually faster than that of the battle barges currently, it should make really good bait. And they have 6 fighter squadrons, so let's even the odds a little bit, shall we? With the enhanced point defense, the additional health on my fighters, I should be able to deal with these well. It's just hard to see the health bar, I'm not gonna lie, for the first squadron I'm killing.
We serve the Korvatra. Targeting sensors lock on.
So what kind of range do these guys have? Pretty good range, but they can't shoot up to the objective, try as I might.
For Anva, it will be so.
So it's going to be up to this auxiliary group, I suppose, to try and help deal with the frigates, or at least cripple them. Because fire assaults, especially after they burn a scanner pulse, is going to be good. Okay, that is unfortunate. If only I hadn't recalled those fighters, but I could deal with these well enough. Because my point defense, hopefully, are going to easily be able to deal with this. Because there's one squadron of weaponry there gone.
We serve the Korvatra.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I'm not shooting the boring torpedoes anymore, so let's keep that in mind. Or actually, I am. It's just not going as effectively as I would like. Come on, one more torpedo. Thank you! Now, this is going to be a trick shot. Oh, so close. So goddamn close. Because that would have been 400 points of damage right there. I am sadly getting some boarding, but
Target acquired.
Let's get this ready to hide.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
And also, get my frigates going to kind of spot. Because battle barges are out of range currently. My shields are not down. And sadly, I don't have any combustion gauge, so that's a bit of a problem here.
Drones have identified an enemy target. The tower shall prosper.
Fighters are being shot down, though.
Aircraft ready for orders. At your orders, Colonel. To spread the greater good.
So these only have bombardment cannons, so let's try and mitigate the damage somehow.
How may I serve the tower?
And if we can, use this gas cloud to good effect.
Serve the Korvatra.
And did I hope I didn't hit myself with... No, I didn't hit myself with secret missiles, because otherwise the battle barge wouldn't be as damaged as it is currently.
Strike the killing blow.
Can I at least kill one of the battle barges? That's the big question. It may not be the flagship, but
Imperials guide us.
if I could kill one of them, that helps a ton.
At your orders, Colonel.
And I did prioritize their
How
weapons.
may I serve the tower? Gravitic drive engaged.
And I think this is the last of their boring torpedoes.
To spread the greater good.
Mutiny, sadly, so that's the last. That's unfortunately dealt with.
Shall prosper.
Now,
By my
kill the
side,
flagship
we
for,
shall
or at least kill the battle barge.
honor the teachings.
At least try to kill the battle barge.
For Anva, it will be so.
Maybe I got a little too aggressive with the...
Drones have
Oh,
identified an enemy target.
this is an opportunity for me to actually get best of both worlds.
How may I serve the tower?
But it might not be enough on its own.
That cannot be done.
Especially with the immediate mutiny, keep that in mind. That's what happened there.
25% of strategic points.
Corel,
Yeah, grab objectives is probably the next important thing I could probably do here.
how may I serve?
Yeah, that was probably a mistake to stay and fight a little bit, but burning my own combustion gauge is really what hurt me there most.
accumulated 50% of strategic points.
And that was an inconvenient time for a... What was it?
Our flagship is gone.
Dang, Kulex's assassin. As soon as I used my rally...
Crisis teams
Oh, though
guarding
that wasn't a
enemy
Kulex's assassin, was it? It was just my flagship getting destroyed.
ships. For orders.
I could still... Can I at least destroy his frigates? That helps a ton. Because then I could steal points behind them, basically.
Patient hunter gets the prey. Torre, ready.
And I still have mobility to hunt them down. At least to get out of here, maybe.
Restore the Earthcast's construction.
The enemy has seized a strategic
I am marked,
area.
though. Gotta keep that in mind.
We serve the Corvacha.
Now, everything get to hiding, I suppose. That would probably be the best thing I could do.
It will be so.
And then we'll try and play this game of cat and mouse some. If I could destroy the one ship, that'd be great. But I'm not even shooting it right now with most of them.
How may I serve the tower? Gravitic drive engaged.
And they have nothing left as far as like boarding potential, since they basically burnt all their boarding torpedoes and everything.
For
Now I just gotta
Allah,
actually
it will
destroy
be so.
these Thunderhawks is the problem.
At your orders, Koro.
I don't think it's gonna work anymore. I let myself get engaged too early. Especially when we're dealing with something with AC armor, that's the problem there too.
The tower shall prosper.
But
Gunners, hold your fire.
if we could destroy these frigates, that helps a ton. Helps a ton, but I don't want to hold fire, ideally.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
And they do have another frigate around.
You have seized a strategic area.
Can we at least kill the frigate some? I would love that, but you're not actually shooting
The Ethereals
the one
must be
ship I
lost.
want.
The Ethereals guide us. Corel, ready. As the
And
Ethereals
since I'm...
wish.
Yeah, since my assault range maneuver has kind of been denied, or at least... Yeah, I'm losing my range and accuracy bonus as well, is what's happening here.
We serve the Corvacha.
Alright, try and kill this thing.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
And eventually, maybe we'll kill off these ships. Although that's gonna get bored to death.
The Ethereals guide us.
Only one boarding, but it is gonna be enough after all, considering it only has one crew.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So that was my big mistake.
At your
Just the
orders,
combustion gauge probably did so much to hurt me there.
honor the teachings of Viola.
Since I could not run away to keep out of range and dodge the boarding torpedoes the best.
My scent, we shall attack.
So let's
The
not
enemy has
beat around the bush
accumulated
anymore.
75%
Maybe if I
of
killed the
strategic
frigates, there could have been
points.
something there for me. Because then I could have just ran off and grabbed the objectives. Slowly, since we didn't kill any engines on any of the battle barges, so they would have been able to easily take them back much faster. So yeah, Custodian needs to live, because hell, the Custodian is so strong with its bombers, if I can hit them when they don't have their fighters defending it. Because if they use them to try and get their boarding torpedoes to hit me, then that leaves a nice window for me to hit them back. And with experimental railguns, bombers, and secret missiles, the Custodian alone could do a world of damage to at least the heavily armored ships. I just did a terrible job defending it, or at least keeping it out of reach. And I did try to prioritize the weapons, which may not have been a good idea. Since after all, like I said, their main strength is their boarding. Destroying the weapons doesn't help me a whole lot, whereas destroying the engines might have kept it from, at least one of the battle barges from chasing me down, especially in that latter half. Alright, over to Imperial Navy now. At the very least, I hopefully won't have to deal with the ridiculous A3 armor, unless they're trying to ram my ass, then that might change completely there. And, well, again, that's not much of an issue if I'm good about placing my light cruisers, since they're going to be ideally hitting the broadside anyway. Again, it's just a matter of making sure my Custodian doesn't get horribly sniped and isolated like it did before. It died way too quickly for what it has to offer this fleet, even if it is essentially the bait. It has the speed and mobility to kind of really do a lot of damage still while running away. Especially with the bombers and seeker missiles. I just may not be using seeker missiles the best if I'm firing them while running away, but that was a poor display either way. So let's see about having the light cruisers there. In the gas cloud at least. Don't know where I want to put the second group because my obstructions are very limited. Unless I fall back to this asteroid belt, which having a fallback point's never a terrible idea. I want to say at least. Since the Custodian sure as hell will, and if they turn to go after the emissaries at some point, then that gives them a window to even further enhance their firepower. And I'm deploying completely wrong as well, aren't I? Since the objectives are kind of over here. Although I still probably want to get in this gas cloud just because of how the Custodian's going to move. Now you guys get moving, where it looks like we're dealing with the Dain Grand Cruiser type of fleet, if I had to guess. Well, actually it could be 7 cruisers, that's a possibility. I know you can get 7 Gothics, I believe, at this point, after the nerfs and increases to their points. So that may be what we're dealing with here, because every single one of them have critical hits, or can be critically hit. So that's what I'm kind of suspecting. Now I'll just recharge the combustion gauge, because that was what was fatal before. And they're just going to get themselves in decent position. If we can grab this point, that'll be great. So emissaries, you're there. Frigates will roam around. I'm pretty certain there's no frigates, though, if there's going to be actually 7 cruisers. I did a terrible job paying attention to speed, though. So if these were like dauntlesses or something, I could probably time it out.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And I guess I could. I'm trying to remember speed, 160, so 5, 6, 7-ish seconds, so that seems pretty close to 160 movement speed. And I should, now that I cleared the gas cloud, I should also launch fighters to kind of reveal them too. Because I can outrun them. We got these guys in position. I don't know what to do with these guys just yet. It's going to be awkward. And thank God I caught you in time. Moment of truth, folks. What are we up against?
Drones have identified an enemy target.
So we got 5 Gothics, or Lunars, okay. So it's a 7 lunar fleet. I was close. They're very similar in the fact that they're not really a fleet that's utilized at all. Since hybrid type of fleets, and especially short range lances, is not very helpful, or at least not the most efficient, just because of how your upgrades are not impacted the best for it, or with it, is what I'm trying to say.
Closing on your position.
Well, this is a little bit awkward. I do have the fighters actually shoot down the torpedoes pretty well, though. So maybe my sauces will be okay.
At your orders, Colonel.
Now just engage, do some damage there.
At your orders, Coral.
And hope these things don't get murdered really horribly. They're only melted torpedoes, that's not the end of the world, but
As the Ethereals wish.
I again have melted torpedoes. Let's just take all these hits.
Gets the prey.
And hopefully we cripple this pretty well, because I could launch seeker missiles, but with them boosting away, it probably doesn't help a whole lot. And apparently I have a handful of frigates as well available to them, which is definitely interesting. And one I want to kind of punish.
Drones have identified
Because
an
vision
enemy
is my
target.
greatest strength, after all.
To spread the greater good. Gravity drive to maximum.
Alright, so they're killing that.
At your orders, Colonel.
Aircast
I might get disruption bond, but
Closing on your position.
the ethereals.
now the
guide
problem
us.
is this custodian is going to get run down really quickly.
Resetting systems.
So the damage needs to be getting done
As the
for this to
Ethereals wish.
work.
We serve the Kovadra.
Oh, that's not what I
Honor
want,
the
sadly.
teachings of Viola.
I am losing objectives, but this is going with a lot of the philosophy of the Tau, where they don't like trying to hold
Enemy has
ground.
seized a strategic area.
And I might as well launch more fighters to kind of shoot these.
The Ethereals guide us.
At
I
your
am
orders,
clear.
Guru.
That's probably all their melted torpedoes, if not
For
close.
Anvar, it will be so.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
And actually, let's get ourselves closer still. And make sure
Corel, ready.
you do not get into
Gravity
hiding, or at
drive
least
engage.
don't get the benefit of hiding.
Gravitic drive to maximum.
Aircast ready for orders. The
So I am getting
Tau
wedged into a
shall
corner.
prosper.
I am going to take meltas here, or regular torpedoes. It's not a lot of damage, thankfully,
As
but
the
now
Ethereals wish.
we're on a bit of a clock to do some real damage here.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Puretide's teachings guide our fire.
Now, let's make them pay for not going after the custodian, shall we?
Puretide's teachings
I'm going to
guide
fire
our
secret
fire.
missiles right now, even if that might be a mistake. I got a double hit, so that's a win.
We serve the Corvette
That's a win in my book.
as the Ethereals wish.
And I did get hit by torpedoes as well, so...
Serve the Kovadra.
How may I serve?
Now just run, disengage. Let them burn all their torpedoes, ideally.
I serve the Tauva.
This is the ultimate skill we're trying to do this fleet. Or at least the ultimate difficulty, so you can imagine how impractical and demanding this can be.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
But it's working. The fleet is spread out. I am running,
To spread the greater good.
and they are firing blind, basically.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Bombing run underway.
I just sadly don't get the benefit from the emergency repairs
Ready for order.
that I have access to, or at least the repair drones.
For Anva it will be so.
Swift and silent, we prowl space.
Corel ready.
So dodge that. You're mutinying, that's fine.
We serve the Corvacha. The patient hunter gets
And I
the
hope
prey.
these ships don't ram themselves. That's what I'm afraid of most.
As the Ethereals wish.
By myself, we shall attack.
You have accumulated 25% of
Now, I
strategic
think the
points.
custodian could just take these two single-handedly, with how crippled they
Ethereals
are.
guide us. Honor the teachings of Viola.
They still have torpedoes, and I did a bad job controlling that.
Patient hunter gets the
But so far, the light cruisers have taken very minor damage.
drive engage. There is your prey, Kola.
Now get these two in the gas cloud, or asteroid belt,
Gravity drive to maximum.
and then unleash full hell upon them.
Strike the killing blow.
Bombing run underway.
And actually, just fire the secret missiles. That'll probably be a little more convenient to kill that
Enemy
one
has
cruiser.
accumulated 25% of strategic points.
There.
At your orders, Kola. By my sept, we shall attack.
Yeah, actually, just keep moving. That'll probably work better. Custodian's in perfect shape. I don't even need the experimental railgun. I could probably ram this and use my repair drone to help mitigate the damage.
Corel, ready.
Oh, and I forgot to do their lock-on stance. Actually, I should do that now, since that would keep them in range still.
Aircraft ready for orders.
Alright, everyone get on out.
The prey.
Dodge the last of their torpedoes, hopefully.
How may I serve the tower?
Although, I'm doing a bad job using them.
At your orders.
This is kind of what gets me most excited, I will be honest, about using this fleet. Because I knew this is probably what would be required, and it should have been how I've been utilizing my fleet
Your orders,
against the Devil Battle Barge. It's just a lot more punishing, it goes without saying, just because of how much ridiculous amount of boarding damage they can do to me. And it is working.
Aircraft ready for orders.
I am at risk of getting rammed, but keep in mind, I'm faster than them.
Honor the teachings
If
of
only
the
just
Lord.
barely.
For Alva it will
And get these ships turned around, ideally.
At your orders, Koro.
And I should lose vision in a moment. Oh, they're still shooting. I was wondering why they were still standing there. They're still technically in range of the cursed thing. That's pretty much why.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Although, we're still doing good on points, I just need to grab objectives.
Gravitic drive engaged.
So that's what this one frigate should do, with that said.
Alva shall prosper.
Just keep
You
in
have
mind, it
seized
has
a
really low hit
strategic area.
points. So I probably don't want to do that carelessly,
How may I serve the tower?
if I can at all. But it is 2 points versus 2, and I have a battleship to kind of easily grab points if necessary.
The patient hunter gets the
And if this
prey.
custodian is ever in the gas cloud, that gives it even better bonuses.
Strategic points.
Weapons hot.
Alright,
Gravitic drive
you get going, grab the points. We got damage engines there,
at your
and I still have 2 railguns. And this is the flagship, and perfect. It is trying to boost into the gas cloud. It is going to be hit then, but
We serve the Corvat.
that did not do him a lot of good, did it now?
target acquired.
Actually, let's hide you in the gas. Let's hide you there. Alright. This is what I enjoy most about this fleet. It's frustrating for my opponents, mind you. But that is the theory and the reason why I want this fleet in the first place. It's just a very trepidatious type of fleet. Because imagine how easily, well, I don't need you to imagine, you've seen how terribly it can happen, or how terribly this fleet can fall apart. That's unfortunate there, that I don't know if my opponent disconnected or some weird glitch, because that was a thing. This is even more weirder, I won't lie. Aw, he just wanted to give me free hugs. Now I feel terrible I had to demolish him like I did. Be honest with me, am I a terrible person? Alright, I did have an Imperial Navy match, but I guess they got frustrated or their internet connection died on them. Hard to really say, but that's not going to make it on the video, so joking aside with my last comment on the Imperial Navy, was it the previous match you've seen? I am liking the potential of this fleet, and I had this monologue about how the future of Armada 2 could be bright competitively if that is just an example of how the skill base can develop and become much more refined. It just needs the player base and enough competitive, or enough competition I suppose, to really warrant it. So hopefully, Tindalos can, if they are making it like an expansion, or just Armada 3 in general, that is the, what is it, third time being the charm? Especially if they do follow up with what people want and make a replay functionality, or at least a spectator mode. that would help a lot in, I want to say, it would help a lot, especially with watching Armada 2, because let's be honest, that is incredibly intimidating even, for the majority of people trying to do that. I definitely want to try and fine-tune this fleet to do that more. Is this the fleet? Is this the position I want though? Because this is a lot of gas clouds. But yeah, I'm a little bit thrown off because of my opponent disconnecting on me in the last match. That was between the match he saw and this one. And interestingly, we're dealing with 3 emperors. Could be a handful of light cruisers too, so let's not get too carried away. But that's what I'm feeling. So the custodians should be able to do amazingly, and I kind of want to do an unorthodox type of strategy and just ball my fleet together to help mitigate the bombers tremendously. Because I don't think they need to spread out if the biggest threat's just fighters.
Has seized a strategic area.
We'll see what happens though. And also let me change my firing arc. That's going to be handy here for the frigates. I don't know why the frigates are set to a broadside arc, since they do have prow railguns after all. But it is missed out potential, damage potential, if I don't remember to do that.
At your orders, Koro.
Now, I think I keep these guys here. You guys go on up. Custodian grab this objective, and we'll see about the possibility of flanking them from over here. There is bound to be a lot of frigates, so I can't have my light cruisers out too far forward. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. I was thinking Imperial Navy, stupid me. Although, at the same time, they can afford a battle barge and 3 strike cruisers.
How may I serve the Tauva?
So there's definitely more around to be worried
Follow
about.
the teachings of Yola.
I was so thrown off because my last match, again, was Imperial Navy. And I want to try and remember the points I want to make about that.
Ready.
And apparently they do have a vanguard.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
And if I can get in the gas cloud, that's helpful. Actually, let's get ready to disengage. These things have really good speed. That's what cost me the last time.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
So as much as I like to try and engage
How
them,
may I serve the Tauva?
that's going to be
The
foolish.
enemy has seized a strategic area.
So what I think I'm going to do instead is start killing off their point defense. At least attempt to.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Although the fighters got negated, so that's not all that exciting.
For Anvar, it will be so.
And I should be able to just hide in the gas cloud easily enough. Problem solved, and hell, the celestial body was going to negate them as well.
For Onva, it
And
will
since
be
there
so.
is a vanguard to snipe, I want to kill it. And this is a good opportunity for it.
Aircraft ready for orders.
The ethereals guide us.
Now again, I gotta watch for trouble
At your orders, Koro.
The patient hunter gets
and destroy the deck, so that way it can't try and get away.
Serve the Kovadra.
aircraft ready for orders.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Now, get ready to run. Because they're not boosting yet, so it makes me worried that... Oh, never mind, they are boosting now.
The Tauva shall prosper.
Can I fire secret missiles on any of
Serve
them?
the Korvacha.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Gravitic drive to maximum.
Run, hide. Dex sadly has not been destroyed on that thing, try as I might. I'm not locked on, which is part of the reason why that probably is happening, but still.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And where are my fighters currently? Oh yeah, they're still hovering way back over there,
Aircraft ready for orders.
to my dismay.
We serve the Korvacha.
Alright.
At
They're in the
your
gas
orders,
cloud, they're buffed up yet again, so
honor the
if you
teachings
could stop
of
ramming
Yola.
yourself, that's going to be tricky because I kind of put it in that position, let's be honest. We'll be good.
Strike the killing blow.
And Custodian, you are a little bit too cramped with the rest of my fleet.
An escort ship is now wreckage.
Actually, I can fire seeker missiles now, I think, since my opponent's kind of separating his fleet.
How may I serve the tower?
I could deal with those fighters easily enough. Seeker missiles are not going to do much.
How may I serve the tower?
And we have this Vanguard to destroy.
That cannot be done, Toro. Closing on your position.
Oh, that may have been a bad engagement, because I nearly hit myself with seeker missiles.
We serve the Lord.
And his deck is still intact.
Patient hunter gets the prey.
Alright.
The enemy has accumulated
Plasma bomb, I'll deal with
25%
that.
strategic
I
points.
still got shields after all, so I basically took almost no damage. No. Battle barge. Good. Now kill the point defense. We're playing the long con here. We're playing the patient hunter after all.
Corel, ready.
And
As the ethereal
you basically have almost no weaponry left of note
At
there.
your orders, Koro.
And I can fire some decent seeker missiles as
aircraft
well.
ready for orders. As the
I think
ethereal
honestly that should be what I'd be trying to do with the Custodian if I can get away with it. Use the fighters to destroy the point defense on something that's likely to still be alive as the battle drags on,
At your orders, Koro.
and then
You have accumulated
Hold that thought.
25% of strategic
and then use the bombers to just be able to chip it down, since it is after all the only type of fighter or carrier ship in the fleet, but
Drones have identified
it is
an
damn
enemy
good at what
target.
it's equipped for.
How may I serve the tower?
It has the numbers to be really efficient,
Aircraft ready for orders.
and with lock-on stance these guys can fire completely unhindered.
Lock on.
And now I even want to fire seeker missiles at this dang cruiser.
Hunter gets the prey.
10-point defense left on this, it's at half strength. You guys can go in the gas cloud.
Great good.
Sadly, I'm not oh, dang it. You just turned yourselves around again.
Spread the great
That was a
good.
bad foresight on my part because they were still on his lock-on target. They're still in good shape.
I serve the tower.
Custodian's not quite in range, but that's now been corrected.
On.
They're a good hit there. Only thing I don't like about this fleet, if it works this way, is the dang repair drones not being utilized effectively. And I'm wondering how can I improve on that, or when to expect needing the repair drone,
It will be so.
if I were to be serious.
We serve the Korvatra.
And actually, let me grab the objectives too.
Teachings of Viola.
I know my focus has been on the military victory, but let's go for a cultural strategic victory at that.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
And I can scanner pulse you, so
To your orders, Koro.
I'm hoping I can.
As the ethereals wish. We serve the Korvatra.
Alright.
Closing on your position.
The enemy has
6-point
accumulated
defense left
60%
on the
of
dang
strategic points.
battle
You
barge,
have
so
seized a
I don't need to
strategic
tell you how
point.
useful. Oh, dang, these things are crashing into each other. I'm doing a bad job controlling my
Honor
fleet,
the
aren't I?
teachings of Viola.
But even then, I think we got this in the bag still,
We serve the
especially with the
Korvatra.
scanner pulse. Seeker missiles about to be launched, and a cruiser about to get demolished.
Corel, ready.
So, did I end up using both of them? Dang it. And I hope the bomber can detect them in time. Dang it! That is really unfortunate.
Gravitic drive engage.
I was just an inch off to keep getting vision on at least the cruiser. And I missed the dang
It will be
railgun shot too, which does me no good.
Mutai's teachings guide our fire.
And you guys are slacking off too. You need to help in this cause.
by my set. We shall attack.
And let's see, 9,000 range on the repair drones, so
Our shall prosper.
get everyone grouped up.
Repair drones activated.
Dodge the boring torpedoes with that said,
Materials guide us.
and just finish this off.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic
Yeah, these
points.
are... Yep, their health's being regenerated now. Maybe that's when I can use the repair drones.
Serve the town.
When I'm ready to actually commit to an engagement because I believe I can win it. No, stay away from me, cursed bombers. Oh, you're not even going after me. Boo!
Gravitic drive to maximum.
Although, they've been dealt with already. We're fine.
May I serve the tower?
This is game.
Tower
The only thing I could do is maybe mitigate the plasma bomb a tiny bit, which
strike the killing blow.
doesn't really matter. And now we get to watch a floating derelict that's kind of moving on of its own volition.
At your orders, Koro.
There's still a lot of fine-tuning to be had with this fleet, but
Accumulated 75% of
I really
strategic
do enjoy the
points.
possibilities that it can have to offer. But since I'm relying so much on the railguns, I need critical hits to kind of give me that advantage. Because destroying them with the railguns is going to take an eternity. Especially when they're using double battle barge. Which again, relating back to the first battle, that is why keeping the custodian alive is so damn important. So I really hope to come back to this fleet soon.